or else you cut the calories down to like say 1,200, 1,400, and you can actually lose more muscle that way with the fat.
Right.
You know, so I think it's better if you can actually go the higher calorie way and do more exercise and kind of burn it and do the nutritional partitioning elements of your day as much as possible, like, you know, exercise before you eat, you know, eat for a nutritional density, not calories.
Sure.
You know.
The premise of my entire nutritional course.
Yeah.
As well as yours, I'm sorry. The one thing I definitely think you would agree with is that the very low, the low time frame, like the 7 minutes of high intensity exercise, is something that somebody can easily do on a low calorie program. So if they are following low calories, high nutrient density, that's something they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's smarter to do it anyways. I've always preached low, like you can look in my book from 2003, 20-minute workout, you know, 25 max.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I don't think unless you're on steroids, you could do something like what I did for 20 minutes even, or 40 minutes.
Right.
Like to keep going like that for that long, it's pretty brutal.
You'd have to take at least a minute break somewhere in there.
Yeah, like you should. You should. But when I was training for my contest, though, I trained twice a day, and I do an hour of cardio after every training day. I tell you, when I got home, I just crashed right out. Low calorie like that, but man, did I get shredded.
Is there an advantage to doing cardio afterwards instead of before your training?
Yeah. And you burn off all the glycogen in your bloodstream from doing, you know, anaerobic exercise. And then aerobic exercise afterwards at a low intensity with no glycogen in your bloodstream forces your body to burn off the fat more. So that's the advantage. It's actually disadvantage to do your cardio before your workout, because then you're burning off all your glycogen and your energy. You don't get the intensity. So
focus on staying loaded, carved up, glyced up in order to get through that intensity, and then burn off whatever's left over when you're done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Would you do cardio on your off days in between?
Yeah.
Even if you're trying to gain mass, trying to get big, would you do cardio?
There's different types of body types. Some it'll be fine, because the cardio actually helps you to be able to push your weight training more, because your oxygen intake is more effective, right? You're more efficient, so you can push harder when you're actually doing the anaerobic exercise. But I find that just doing a full circuit of high anaerobic, you know, high intensity anaerobic exercise like that will help your oxygen efficiency better than doing low intensity cardio. But what I found that worked best for people I trained was just very low intensity cardio, like walking.
Okay.
You know, not anything any more high intensity than that, especially when you're on a low calorie diet and training hard and all that kind of stuff. Just lose too much. Like when you get to a certain point, you just lose too much muscle tissue. You know, it's really it's a point where you actually have to slow down how much fat and weight that you lose per week, because you're losing too much muscle. So if you've done it a few times, then your muscle memory will actually hold the muscle, and you'll lose the fat a lot easier than like the first time around. A lot of bodybuilders, I find their first contest, they'll you know, they'll end up 20, 30 pounds lighter than what they expected, because to get that extra 2% more cut, you know, they had to lose like 20 pounds of muscle mass to do it.
I'm sure you lay this all out in your book.
That stuff, not really as much, because it's more about gaining muscle than getting bigger or getting cut.
Okay.
But for your book and your course, it'd be really good.